The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural, metaphysical, paranormal. You know, all those things you've been wondering about? Are you ready to go deeper into the realms of the unknown? I hope you've got your walking shoes on, because life is an adventure, and this is the journey. Come on, let's go.
Oh my
Hello
goodness.
and welcome to the show, everyone. It's Wednesday night, and this is the Journey Radio Show. Hey, we're the She Squatchers. I'm Jen Cruz, your host, and I've got my trusty teammates. They're both here. I've got Jenna Grover
Well, hello.
and Tammy Trico.
Hi. We missed you guys.
Yes, it's so
Totally
good to
missed you
be
guys.
back.
And,
You missed us
I'm
too.
freezing up here in Minnesota, and Jenna, she left me.
I did. And I'm in Texas, and I've got myself a tan.
Yeah,
Well,
she
if it makes
did.
you feel any better, the low tonight is 23 degrees here in Virginia Beach, Jen. So I'm cold too.
That's awesome. It's 32 here.
It was 60 something today. I'm pretty happy. That's all I have
That's
to
awesome.
say. That and the sunshine.
Jenna just says, I'm so cold. And I'm like, you forget where you come from, girl. Forget where you come from. So, well, hello, everybody. We've missed you. And everybody in the chat, we've missed you guys too. We're glad to be back. We've had lots of things going on since we last saw you and heard you and been here and all that fun stuff. So, we didn't bring a guest on tonight because we thought we'd just share what's going on with us or what's been going on with us. We had a lot of time this summer in expedition. But
A lot.
before we
A
get to
lot.
that, I have one thing to say about the message that's been coming through to me today from Spirit. And that is hang out with other intuitives, people. Then you get to be exactly who you are all the time without holding back. Say all the things that you normally hold back because you're trying to fit in, or the things that you talk down about because you don't think they'll understand what you're really trying to get at. The conversations are just different, and you feel like you belong when you hang out with other intuitives. So it's really important to find those people and to mingle with them more. And I promise you that your experiences and your own abilities will amplify and they will grow when you're together. Things just become more and more possible. And it's just a magical time. And you won't feel like you're all alone and lonely all the time. I remember feeling lonely all the time till I found my girls. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, that reminds me of a song that I won't sing,
No.
Jen.
That she will not sing. And
That I
speaking
will
of
not.
singing, there's news on that front too. So we wrote a Bigfoot song. Surprise! We
Surprise.
we wrote a Bigfoot song, and it's kind of like a story, but it's like a true story about how that thing kind of goes. And and we got hooked up with a band and a recording engineer, and we recorded the song. And the vocals were by yours truly, Jenna Grover. Ta-da!
Yahoo! It was so much fun. I'd never gotten to record before. It was so freaking amazing. And the band was super awesome. And they were like family now. And now I want to do so much more with them. I don't know if they're going to pick up the phone though. If I told them.
Like, Jenna's calling. No, man, don't answer. Don't answer.
Right. She's not coming back, is she?
Wait,
I
what are
like
we
you,
doing?
Jenna. So
Right.
so we did that, and then we mixed real Bigfoot vocals into the song.
Which nobody
And
has
so
done before, have they?
I don't think so. No. And so we're working on that, getting that ready to share with the world. And we'll use that to promote one of our documentaries that is coming out on Tubi very soon. It's Searching for Sasquatch 10, the Minnesota Roars. And some of those Minnesota Roars are actually in the song. So it's going to be really fun. And the world has not heard the Minnesota Roars yet either. So everybody who has heard them is like, wow, those are really, really good. And
They are.
Are we
And
going to use it to
who's
promote
heard the song?
ours?
what?
Are we going to use it to promote our documentary too?
Yeah,
About-
of course. Of course. Yeah.
What were you saying,
But
Jenna?
the story
I
of the
don't know.
Roars, well, I don't even know what's told in our own documentary. So,
Right, it's not done yet, is it?
well, no,
Or-
it's done.
It's
We
done.
just haven't gotten to see it.
I remembered what I was gonna say. You guys, I am not a professional, so just letting it
Oh,
out
whatever.
there.
Jenna's going to be coming out with her own solo record within the next couple of years. Watch.
Stop, Tammy. Stop. Triple threat. Triple threat.
I double dog dare you.
I'm sorry, everybody. You guys, we have not seen each other for so long. I mean, like, seen each other. We have done this for so long.
I think we saw each other spent more time together this year than we have for like the past 2 years.
Yeah, but we haven't done a show. I love seeing you
True.
guys
Yeah,
on the show.
it's been a couple months for that.
Feels like
Yeah.
a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did spend a lot of time together this summer camping,
We
and
did.
RVing, and by the fire and in the woods,
Walking. Lots and lots of walking.
and lots of walking. Yes, yes. And rain, lots of rain.
Rain.
So, yeah, mud. Lots of mud. So, yeah, we did have a good time, and it was really cool. It was really cool. So when we were out in, well, should we talk about Indiana or should we talk about Minnesota?
Indiana first?
Indiana first.
All
Well,
right.
Kentucky,
So we
Indiana?
we went to Kentucky, and we looked for the Poplick monster which is like the goat man at the Poplick Trestle in Louisville, Kentucky. And Louisville. Did I even say that right? Louisville.
If you didn't, they
We
will
climbed
say
it.
something.
Huh?
And we climbed it.
Although
Okay,
we got
I
amazing
didn't hear what you
pictures.
said, and I'm not going to say what. So we're just going to leave it at that. So
Tammy is so nuts.
We did not walk out on that thing though. That's so dangerous. There was
Yeah.
trains going by when we were down there, and we're like, even when they weren't supposed to be scheduled trains, there was trains coming. Like, no wonder people are being dumb and going out there and dying because the trains are coming all the time and you at least expect it. So
Yeah.
But what a
don't go
beautiful
on that
area.
bridge.
right. So we were out there till all hours of the night. We found a spot in the woods to sit down, and I'm going to tell you what. I have arachnophobia, which is a great fear of spiders. And I'm sitting in this chair in the middle of the woods in the dark, and I happen to turn on a light. And there is a spider like right next to me on this branch. And I was like, ugh. And there are the hugest spiders down there. I'm just saying. They're way bigger than the spiders we have in Minnesota. They're very squatchy spiders. And oh my gosh. And I didn't scream and I didn't run. And I was shocked. Because then something fell on the ground and I shined my light on the ground to look for it. And the ground was just
Lit up with eyes.
everywhere. And I was like,
So many spiders. Lit up with eyes.
it was like a nightmare come true. Like literally I gasped and nothing came out. Like I didn't scream and I thought about running, but jagged rocks and I was like, I can't run out of here.
Yep.
So I just
Poor
sat there and
Jen.
turned the light off and pretended that they weren't there, and they were. And they were probably all running right towards me at that moment.
They were all
And you have to
laughing at you.
understand. Yeah, they were. They were like,
You know that
Everybody-
scene
here
from
comes
the
the
old
light.
Indiana Jones movie where he's really scared of snakes and he all of a sudden the whole ground is moving and it's all snakes? That's kind of how it was with spiders on the ground there.
Look,
me.
now she's Indiana. No, Kentucky Jones.
oh, Kentucky Jen.
Kentucky
Jen.
Kentucky Jen. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Jen fighting any spiders anytime soon. She still yells out, get it, get it.
I did really good.
You did. You did, Jen.
Jason also has arachnophobia, though. Our producer. He also
And
does.
on that documentary he put on there, it shows the spider. He put an
Yeah, it goes,
arrow at the spider, and it looks so big. Oh, it does. Yeah,
He's
it's
scared
really
too.
big.
That was Searching for Sasquatch 9. They Feast in the Shadows. And that isn't quite on Tubi yet, but you can watch it on Vimeo you can rent it for 99 cents. So you can look for it there if you want. If you can't wait for Tubi, you can go rent it right now after the show. What does Sherry have to say? I am so proud of you, Jen. You stood your ground. I was once in a room with hundreds of spiders once. Oh, yuck. I have nightmares.
Then we went to Indiana.
Yes, then we went to Indiana.
Yes.
To Squatchman's hotspot, which was really fun to go back there
Hi,
and
Squatch,
see Greg
love
again.
You were so freaking awesome. I miss you already. Right?
Yes.
I miss him too.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm trying
He's
to
a
think.
cool guy.
Okay, yeah, that was still Indiana. I'm like, where were we at the other park with the tornado? That was still Indiana. Okay, carry on.
Oh, yes. In the toilets while you and Jason were driving by
Laughed at
taking
you.
pictures of us.
We took shelter in the
So
structure,
funny.
which was the toilet, and it stunk in there. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was
A
so
vault
bad.
toilet.
A vault toilet.
But it was sturdy, man. If anybody was going to survive, it would have been us.
It was brick. It was not one of the plastic
Yes.
ones. It was the brick one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Jason and I were out chasing the tornado, and they're all hiding in the bathroom.
You
My
weren't
mother always
chasing the
told me to
tornado
make
as
smart
as
decisions.
like looking for it. You were just out there when it started, right?
No, we went looking for it.
Oh, you did.
They were hiding
Yeah.
from the rain. They were like, let's just tell them that we were chasing the storm.
It sounds cooler.
Shut up. You are grounded.
I didn't mean that. Brother.
Pervert. No, we had gone into town to go get stuff, trinkets and stuff for my kids before we left that area of Indiana. And while we were out there, I'm like, hey, there's a tornado warning just came over my phone. He's like, oh yeah? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you wanna? He's like, yeah, I wanna. So we got in the car and we chased it.
Did you chase it right to us? Because it seemed like it was on top of us with how it was raining. It was like sheets of water coming down. It was crazy.
Like a bullet. The drips were like bullets, mini bullets coming down from the sky.
Like a bullet.
Were they like bullets?
Like a super fast bullet.
You better stop. You're like, trip the algorithm or something. Stop that.
Right. Oh, sorry, everyone. This is just a fun time.
But that was fun. That was definitely fun.
That
But
was fun.
It was fun. Squatchman's area was amazing. We got some great footage there.
We did. We did. And I wish we had him with us when we were up looking for Goatman, because he had some pretty cool stuff.
Right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a cast of a Goatman print that he took from up there. And wow, that was incredible.
Mm-hmm. I know.
That whole area up there is incredible. It's just cool. That's all I have to say. You guys are looking like there's more at me. I think I said it all.
I think my favorite part is Squatchman's gifting stump area. That's my favorite of that whole trip. That was my favorite thing. Going to the gifting stump. And
I got to dance with Greg. He had a radio on and we were dancing around the fire. It was so awesome. Yeah, but I don't remember what song it was, but it was really cool. We were both dancing, and I think everybody else was gone.
Was it the Hokey Pokey?
No, but if it was, I would have danced to that too. God,
I'm sure you would have.
Ooh,
it was so fun.
I know.
He's fun.
I like Greg.
We miss you, Squatchman.
Yes, say hi to your son too.
So yeah, that was a fun. Well, we started off in Kentucky. We ended up in Indiana. And then after Squatchman's, we went up and stayed at a haunted town in the middle of the woods. And we did a paranormal investigation of the town while we were there for several days. And Jenna and Tammy climbed a mountain
Yes, we did.
We did it. We did it. And
It
there's
was
a video
really
at the end.
steep. It was not on a path either.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
amazing. I mean,
What
it
was at
really
the top of
did.
the mountain? Why did you climb it?
It was actually the summer solstice, and there was a little Stonehenge up there on top of this mountain. And the only way to get there was to climb it. There were no trails, there were no paths. You had to hold onto trees to pull yourself up in some areas. It was
It was
amazing, and it was hard, but it was
yeah.
so rewarding when we got up there.
Perfect word. Thank you, Tammy. It was so rewarding. Ah, I loved it. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
This whole time we had you guys expedition. Wow.
I know. I wish there had been a way for all of us to get up there because that would have been a great place to camp up there at the top. It was amazing. They had flat areas surrounded by trees. It was beautiful.
Yes. Did we share any of the videos?
I don't know that we did. I don't know. We have to ask Jason if there's any of them in there.
I think
'Cause
you shared the one that we were all yelling, "We did it! We did it!"
Yeah, I did. I shared that one on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, well, man, looking at that mountain, you didn't think you were going to get up there.
I know. You're
Jenna
like, oh my
texted me
gosh.
when she was halfway up. She's like, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I did my breathing because Jen had taught me how to breathe, and so I did my higher brain breathing, and that's what got me up. Because mentally, you have to struggle. You know, this mental like, can I do it? Can I do it? And I hit a point where I was like, man, I don't think I can. And then I thought, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And I did it.
When I say go, we go.
Right.
That's what I
Mind
tell
over matter.
myself. When I say we go, we go. Don't question me.
I've got this.
I
Warrior
just-
women with me. I'm telling ya. And where was I?
It's all
I was
mind
back
over
in the
matter.
haunted house.
Yes, she was. She was back relaxing while we were climbing that mountain.
I was.
Wasn't it? Was that Browning Mountain? Was that the name of that mountain? I don't
Brown
remember.
Mountain. It was
Brown
Brown
or
Mountain.
Browning? It was just Brown.
I think it was Brown.
Not sure.
My memory says that.
Anyway, it was
Well, we
amazing.
got to see the sunset. So if you do get to check out any of the videos.
Well, there was a structure up there that you went to see.
Well, it wasn't necessarily a structure. It was, big pillar stones, kind of like Stonehenge. They weren't all arranged like they should have been. I'm sure somebody knocked it down a long time ago. But there were stones up there that were not natural to the area that had been brought into there that were very large. So you could tell there was something there at one time.
Any information on how old the place was, or?
No, I didn't get too much information. The guy who told me where it was, we only had like a 10-minute conversation before he had to leave. And he's like, oh, yeah, I know where that is. I'm like, can you take me? He's like, nope, but I'll tell you. So he got the GPS and got the coordinates and handed it to me. So
yes,
awesome.
Tell him about Jason being greeted by a person.
I got up there before you guys did. I saw her first.
Oh, you. Well,
I was the first one at the top, but yes, okay. When we got up to the top, there was a drunk girl up there, and I'm not quite sure what she was planning to do from up there, but it seemed like she did not want to be disturbed. But when I got up there, she was all rude to me. What are you doing up here? I'm like, I came up here, see the sunset. It's the solstice. And if you don't want to be where there's people, you should probably go over there because there's more people coming. And so she moved over a little bit. Well, then Jason came up, and as soon as she saw Jason, her face just lit up, and she's like, oh, hi.
Now, I have to say, she didn't really say anything. When she walked to Jason and she like grabbed his hands like this was some amazing experience. And I didn't realize she was drunk. I didn't know if this was all made up for some kind of like get action shots, for Jason.
Right.
So this woman takes him by the hands and leads him, and he looks back at me like, but he goes, he's got this heart of steel, and he goes with this woman. It was so weird, but yeah, she turned out to not be like scary or anything.
She actually brought him over to where we were.
Yes, I mean, she didn't bring him like off a cliff or anything.
Right.
But,
she didn't like take him behind a tree or anything, but
right, I'll show you a mountain.
I got a mountain you can climb.
Oh goodness! All right.
You guys, we have got to be more serious.
Why? We
I
have
don't
to be more
know. We
serious.
haven't done this for so long. It's
Yeah.
nice
There's
and
no,
that.
there's no guests on here. It's just us. We can be silly if we want to be silly.
You know, that's true. That's true. I like the way you said that.
We are usually pretty silly girls in real life.
Yes, we
We
are.
are.
We laugh a lot. We have a good time. Um, and so after we did this, well, we did like a paranormal investigation of this haunted town. So we rented this house, this old house, and so we had the whole house, and that was haunted too because I was upstairs at our Jenna and I's room was at the top of the stairs, and it had the door open, and I was changing clothes. Well, because it was just Tammy's room up there too, so it was just our rooms up there. So I was changing clothes, and it was hot because the air conditioner was in the hallway, so we left the door open. And I was changing clothes, and all of a sudden I see this white head like peek around the corner from the top of the stairs and look in the room while I was changing. And I was like, "Ah," but there was nobody there. It was a ghost. It was a ghost. And I was
Everybody
like,
else is
"Pervert,
downstairs. Pervert ghost.
pervert
Casper,
ghost.
how dare
I'm
you?
trying to change here." So yeah. So then there was that. But you guys weren't there then. So
Yeah.
Where
Is
were
that when you
we?
were climbing the mountain?
you were climbing the mountain. So
We're
the ghosts were
mountain
playing with
climbers.
you
Add
and your
that
son.
to our resume.
We're official mountain climbers.
We are.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And that's why I was feeling pretty brave to change with the door open because there was really
There's nobody there.
nobody there.
Yeah, because everybody went. Oh, Sherry didn't go.
Sherry didn't go, but it wouldn't have mattered if she came around the corner. But
Yeah, that's true.
Did
Yeah.
John go?
I like Sherry. Hi, Sherry. If you can hear
John
me.
I
didn't
think
go
he was
either.
sleeping.
They were at his RV, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they were hanging out there while we were up climbing. It was you and me and Jason and Todd. Shalat.
Yeah. You guys were
Todd.
climbing the mountain.
Todd Shalat.
So then we got to investigate the hotel, the haunted hotel there. And we were in a little town called Story Inn, Indiana.
Yes.
And the
I
whole
love
place is for
Story
rent.
Inn.
And the whole place is haunted. And we walked into the hotel is up above the saloon area. It was that a would you call that a saloon
Bar.
bar?
There's a
I
bar.
like to call
basement
it a
bar.
saloon because it's old, right?
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did we lose Sarge?
We lost Sarge.
That means we're not on the radio, but we're still recording,
That's
so
okay because we're still here.
we're still here.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
And that's the important part, Tammy.
That I'm here. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Gosh.
Well, yeah.
Thanks,
I'll
Jenna.
be back, I'm sure.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're so welcome.
All right. So then we investigated the haunted hotel, and when we walked up the stairs to get in there, the whole energy shifted. Did you guys feel that? It was
Yes.
so
And it
heavy
felt
up there.
and it felt off.
It was
Off
crooked.
kilter. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if the floor was tilted crooked or if it just felt that way.
Right? I mean, it
Like
could
when you
have
have
been.
vertigo and you feel like you're walking sideways.
I think it was crooked. I really think the house had settled and slanted a little bit.
Yeah. 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 Because I as soon as I got halfway up the stairs, it just started feeling heavier and heavier and heavier. The
The
energy up
farther
there
up we
was,
got.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I remember feeling the whole house shake at one point. What was that? It was in the bathroom and I felt like that's how
I don't know. What
shook
was that,
like my
Jenna?
body is.
Oh, Jenna.
Oh,
Jenna.
right up there.
Innocent little Jenna.
But no, I mean, it really felt different up there than it did downstairs because I didn't really feel so much down in the bar saloon area. But once we started going up the stairs, halfway up, I started to feel the energy shifting, and it was just really heavy up there. And then we had all this equipment set up, and we were all in this one. What was it called? The blue room, the blue lady room, or
back
something
on.
like that.
Oh yeah.
So, and we were sitting in there, and all of a sudden, I started to feel pain in my foot. And I said, I'm feeling pain in my foot. And Todd, Todd's got a huge background in paranormal investigating, and he's got all the trinkets. And so he grabbed I think he grabbed the geophone, and he put it by my foot, and it started alarming, which means there was a very large, heavy spike in energy right there. And we had done measuring of the room to see if anything was spiking, and it wasn't. So this was so he was able to confirm that there was really something paranormal happening with my foot at that moment. So that was cool that when you can, I was feeling it. I know that I was feeling it, but for everybody else watching to see that the machines are backing it up, saying, yeah, the energy has been changed here now. It's a lot, and it was alarming. And I can't remember what he said about the alarm, that it was a significant jump in the energy change. So that it only alarms like that when it's a really big change. So yeah, that was cool. They weren't very talkative with us. I didn't feel like they really, I think they kind of get tired of people talking to them all the time.
Probably. I think the only real EVP we got, John got it, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What was it again?
It
What did
was
it
the
say?
woman about, I think he asked if she had been married or something. Wasn't
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
I think so.
It was so long ago. It was
It
like
was so many documentaries ago.
so many documentaries. Yeah. So yeah, that was because we spent half of June out on expedition, and we did, Kentucky,
Half the
Indiana,
summer out on
and then
expedition.
we did paranormal in Indiana, and then we did more squatching in Indiana after we left there. And there was
But
Bigfoots there too.
Mm-hmm.
There were. That was so cool. But we were way in deep in the woods out there.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Don't count on your GPS too hard out there.
You know, I have to say, I really love meeting people at events. That's one of my favorite things to do. But getting out there and doing the expeditions is that's where my heart is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
If
always
more
great.
people would actually, hmm?
It's always great to meet people, but you're right. I would much rather be in the woods, looking and hands on, boots on the ground. Let's do this. I'd much rather be doing that. I love meeting people and sharing what we find, but I really love the finding.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good. And then so that first night that we investigated the hotel. And then the next night we investigated, there was this little cottage that was empty. And all of these places are for rent. And it just happened that this cottage was open and not rented that night, so they let us investigate it. And I had my geophone, and Todd had his geophone, and we had unplugged like the air conditioning unit, we unplugged the fridge, everything that could have given off an electrical signal was unplugged. And, again, we measured the room's energy again. And then we sat my geophone up on I think it was like an old stove across the room. And we started getting interaction from a spirit that was interacting with the geophone, which was cool because they were answering questions with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really neat. That was really neat. There was we got the energy of a little boy there.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, it's always sad when you see a child spirit. That seems sad, like, do they don't know what to do? Did they get stuck here because they weren't sure what to do? That's the kind of thing you start to wonder if they're not talking to you too much, So, but yeah, it was an interesting experience there for sure. Very cool little town. So if you ever get the opportunity to stop in at Story Inn, Indiana, check it out. Check it out for
Definitely.
sure. Very cute. They actually have weddings there
Yeah, it's a
and
very
stuff.
quaint little town. It's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
They have
is
horse
cute. And you
trails, you
talk
can go
about
horseback
pictures.
riding, all sorts of stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Horses.
area.
Yeah. Very, very nice. And squatchy.
Yeah.
So when we were done with that, we should probably go to commercial break before we move on
Okay.
to the next thing. So with that, stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. All right, girls.
Yeah. I'm glad that you can remember all this stuff because all the expeditions that we've done, I've lost the details of a lot of things. I was like, oh
Me
yeah, I
too.
guess I'll remember when the documentary comes out.
Right. I'm so glad you said that because I was feeling that same way. I was like, yeah, I'll talk about how fun it was, but details, I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, has he started editing that one yet?
I don't even know. How many is he getting out of there? Because he didn't say anything about the story in really. So he must be going to be doing a documentary on that one, a paranormal documentary. So that's another one. And then we had the one from Indiana and Kentucky. And then after that, we have the Minnesota one.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything about the Pope Lick monster on the Indiana one, did he?
I don't think so, but he might throw that in on the paranormal one because that's more, it's not big.
Maybe he will.
So.
Yeah, we don't know how he's going to put it all together.
We're going to be delightfully surprised as everybody else.
I hope
although we know what
delightly.
happened, it's so far from when it happened. It's going to be all really fun for us to see.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's fun for us too. And we don't get to see them before everybody else. That's the thing. We don't get to see it either. We know what happened. We were there, but
right.
We don't know how we look from behind.
I know how I look from behind. This baby got some back.
I don't. You got it. I got a little flat one. Okay, I get it. You guys gotta be on the air.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hey, we're the She Squatchers. Hey, would you check us out online at shesquatchers.com? And hey, we're on YouTube at She Squatchers Official. Please come subscribe to our channel there and click the bell for notifications so that you can see when we upload new videos and stuff like that. Also, we're on Facebook and Instagram. So please come and like and follow us there for all of what's going on. So I got to get back in the chat room here. There we go. All right. And so back to the show. We were talking about being in Indiana, story in Indiana, where we were doing the paranormal investigation, part of our expedition. And there just so happened to be Bigfoots in the area. That was pretty cool too. And when we left there, we went to, was it Brown County State Park? And we camped there in the, what were they called? Were they the rendezvous area of the park where we had this huge area that we could have had like 75 people in.
Oh yeah, it was like where the Boy Scouts camp.
Yeah.
Group camping area.
So we weren't all stacked on top of each other with RVs and stuff like that. It was just us and a whole bunch of space, and there was other people down the way. But after the weekend, everybody left, and we were there alone. So that was kind of weird.
Saw. Tell them what we saw. Tell them what we saw.
Okay, so the last night that we were there, we were trying to do Jason tries to get us to all do like photos in the woods, like as a group, so we can use it as a poster for that documentary or whatever. So we were doing our photos and stuff. And we were done, and I was walking towards the RV. All of us were walking towards the RV, and I know you guys were kind of in front of me a little bit, and I just happened to see on the other side of the RV, like maybe, I don't know, 100 feet or so, 50 to 100 feet, I saw this large black humanoid shaped something, but way bigger than a human, just move like really fast across from one side of the woods to the other and disappeared behind the RV. And I was like, girls, come on. And so we went over there. And my phone camera will take a picture and it'll lighten the area up more than what you can see when you're looking at it with the naked eye. So I just kept taking picture after picture after picture after picture. And Tammy just keeps walking towards the wood line to see if she can make contact. Come and get her, everybody. Come and get dinner is served. Here's Tammy. And
I wasn't scared.
no, she wasn't. She went walking up there. What did you experience? How did you feel about that, Tammy?
I could feel like something was standing, like, at the edge of the forest. There was like a fence there that I would have had to climb over to get, but it's like a steep hill down. I'm like, well, it's dark. I don't have any gear except for my phone. Do I really want to do that? So I'm standing there. I could feel like, like, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 feet away to my left. I felt something standing there and watching. So I just started talking. I'm like, hey, I'm Tammy, and that we're out here. We're making documentaries. We're not trying to, hurt anybody, disturb anybody. However, I have my phone right here, and it's got night vision on there, so it just lights it up. Lights it up. It's not like infrared. So I'm like, so if you don't mind, I would love to just go ahead and take some pictures, and if you want to be in them, great. And so I just started taking pictures and standing there talking, and then eventually I felt it kind of starting to move away. I'm like, all right, he's bored of me. So, but I didn't see anything really in the pictures, but I've only seen them on my phone. I haven't like put them on a big screen or anything and blown them up to see, in great detail. I've got thousands upon thousands of pictures in my phone that I should be going through from all of our expeditions, because I am the person who will take all the pictures.
And I am so guilty of the same. But you know what? Jason takes all of our equipment at the end of the day and he downloads everything onto his memory stuff and takes it with him. So I think a lot of the time we kind of count on him to find this stuff. But
yeah, we love you,
it's fun to be out there experiencing it. It's not so fun to sit for hours looking at all the stuff. So, but he loves doing that, I think.
I do.
He does it.
He must, he must enjoy it because he does.
Yeah, for sure. So when we were there, I ended up, okay, so other Bigfoot researcher at was it Yellowwood?
I have no idea.
I think that other park, that was Yellowwood, I think.
I think so.
It was yellow something. Anyway.
Yeah, it's right across, right down the road, whatever.
Because we were brown and yellow. That's where we were. So, we were supposed to go out and meet him there. And just as we were leaving, I got sick, like instant stomach ache. Couldn't go. I'm like, can't go. Ran. Guys, go without me. So what happened out there, you guys?
Jenna?
Oh, no, you go ahead. I'm sorry. I was in a hot flash. I was literally hot flashing myself.
It was fun. We explored a lot, and there was a couple times when they thought that they caught something, and Jason and Todd are standing there, and they're like, do you see that? Do you see that? It's right there. It's right there. And I'm like, what are you guys looking at? I'm like, do you see it over there? I'm like, oh, you want me to walk over? I start walking over, and it's not moving and it's not running away. I'm like, I don't think it's Bigfoot because I'm pretty sure he would have ran by now. So I keep walking over, and they're like, Jason's like, she's just going over there. But I walked over there, and it ended up being a tree that had fallen over, and it was the root ball on the bottom of the tree that had been standing up, and it was, in the shape of, could have been mistaken for a Bigfoot, but yeah, that was fun.
It was actually funny because Tammy was like, you could see it on one of the documentaries. It has Tammy walking, and they're like, oh my gosh, is it? Isn't it? Is it? Isn't it? Sure looks like it is. And Tammy's like, do, let me check it out. So it was perfect. Thank you, Tammy, for doing that.
I know, it's so funny. The guys are standing there like, all scared, and I'm like, okay, I'll go see.
That's how we play this.
That's right.
That's right. We send Tammy in. That's how we play
we send Tammy in. That's okay, because I'll go. I want to see. I want to be the person that has the experiences, so I am all over it. I will do it every time.
There you go.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Anything else happened while you guys were out there?
Like I said, there's so many documentaries ago. I remember getting out there. I remember us almost getting lost. I remember us making our way back up there, and it was pretty almost dark by then. And that's about what I remember of that.
There we go. So when we got done, then the last night that we were at that park, we went out to Yellowwood together. And
that place with the guys.
yeah,
Yeah, that place
With the guys.
with the guys. You know those guys?
Minnesota
Do you remember
much?
who they were?
Yeah. So then I was along, and that's when I did my solo hike, and it was almost getting dark, and I'm sorry, Tammy, I didn't tell you I was leaving. I told John I was leaving.
Yeah, and you know what John said? She just walked off. I don't know where she went. And I'm like, what do you mean she just walked off?
He tried to follow me, and I said, go away. I'm trying to do a solo hike here.
When we were out there with those guys, not a whole lot happened, did it? We heard some stuff. And then they're like, well, maybe you should go down the road a little bit. So we went down the road a little bit, and we hung out there for a while. We talked to those guys, and we heard some stuff, but nothing ever like became of it. You know, it's like you could hear like maybe it was rocks, maybe it was acorns. So yeah, that was interesting, and it was nice to meet those guys. They had great stories. I don't remember either of their names at the time. Sorry.
That was the night that I wasn't there, but we went back without them.
Yes, the next night we went back.
I was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when we were wandering through the trails. We didn't go through the trails before without you.
Didn't.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I went wandering through the trails, and then I really felt strongly like Tammy was. I literally said on my video, I can literally feel Tammy wondering where I am. I better go back. And I said that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because John's like, I don't know where she went. She just walked off. I'm like, which way did she go? Because I'm going after her.
Yeah. Well, I did tell him because he was following me, and I said, John, stop following me. I'm trying to do a solo hike here.
Yeah.
So he did know I went on a solo hike. That I told him what I was
neglected to tell us that part.
Right. All right. So yeah, and it was interesting out there. The nice trails. I like the trails. Very nicely kept.
Big spiders.
I didn't see any big spiders that
Jason
night.
did. He jumped on one of those trees, those up-ended trees, and he was like crawling over it. And all of a sudden, he looks down. He's like, "There's a spider there that's the size of my hand." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, let me see it." He's like, "No, go the other way. Move."
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Fun.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad I didn't get to see that spider.
Didn't we see it? We saw a footprint that night that you were with us. You're on mute, Jenna. We saw a footprint by the water as we were walking.
I'm so glad I've been talking this entire time to you guys.
Have you? You didn't hear a word you said.
You know, it's probably better that way. I could have sworn you guys even answered me at one point.
Leave it off of mute so we can hear you.
I've got a dog barking and my chair goes squeak, squeak, squeak. And
how does it go, Jenna?
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
She repeated herself.
That's funny.
Go hard.
So then we left. Well, then that expedition was over, and we were on our way home.
Yeah.
And we all had long drives to go. Tammy had super long drive to go.
But that state park, the Brown County State Park in Indiana, has some of the very few covered bridges left in the United States. So there's some there if you're looking into that. And I did not know, and I'll bet a lot of listeners did not know, that there is over 500 caves in Indiana. I want to go back and go exploring caves.
Okay, let's do it.
With a guy who knows where we're going.
Whoa.
I'm down
and now
for
there's
that.
stipulations.
Yes, because you can get lost and hurt in a cave and never come back out. So there's that.
There's true.
Yeah. I'd like a guide too, please. Preferably
Not a spider.
45, handsome. No, I'm kidding.
Well, if we're putting in stipulations, let me put in my order.
Can we put in orders?
He's got to be over
Right.
6 feet tall. He's got to have muscles. Cute.
Right. Just
All
nice
right.
eye. That's all I need.
Oh, girls. So that was our expedition, or should I say expeditions, in June. Half of June we spent in the field. And it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And then it was funny because on the way back, I was driving and we ended up driving all the way to Wisconsin and still staying in the RV.
My
We met
fault.
back up at John's house and I'm like, John, can we stay in your RV? He's like, yeah, it's open. He's outside his house.
You didn't want to
So-
be like in the house, or?
Well, we got there really late
Yeah, it was
and
really
everybody
dark.
was asleep, I think. And
Hey, John,
yeah.
nice house. Can I stay in your RV?
We
yeah,
love your RV,
they were
John.
all in
Thank
bed, I
you.
think, when we got there. So we
Yeah.
just crawled in to the RV, home sweet home that had been our home for 2 weeks, and
Right.
Same
Crawled
bunk beds.
Side story. John sent me a picture a few weeks ago of a pair of my pajamas. I'm like, hey, there they are. He has my pajamas that got left in the RV. He's like, I put them on and took pictures. You want to see? I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, I really didn't. I was kidding. I was like, oh. But okay,
was
you can
gonna say,
put them on if you want.
that would have been the best pictures ever. If John had your like, although it might have been weird. Forget it. I take that sentence back.
Well, if they were in the RV a while, they might have been, kind of smelly by then.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if they'd been putting them on. John.
goodness gracious, girls. And John.
Oh, we can't
Hi,
wait this
John.
long in between. Hi, John. We adore you.
Yes.
We had fun.
We did have fun.
And so then we fast forward to our next expedition, which was in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. So Jason and Tammy flew in and we picked them up and we went to see the Fargo sites, which included the billboard with us on.
Yeah, we were driving by. I'm like, hey, there we are.
And Jason hopped on a metal bull.
It was a buffalo.
Buffalo. Did I say bull? I was so excited that he was hopped on.
In Fargo, there's all these painted buffaloes all over town. And Jason like ran up behind one of them and jumped on it. And all these young kids that were like out there were like
In the parking lot hanging out.
inspired.
They were. And then after we all got in the car, we saw a couple of them try to run up and jump, and they just bammed right into the
Failed.
tail, the poor guys. I mean, they were like, because they saw, a fairly old man. When you're that young, you think 25 is old. So, I'm sure they thought, well, if he can do it, we can do it. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't.
The good thing about that was Jason and I actually met at the Denver airport for our connecting flight. We got to take the last flight back together from there. It was amazing. It was so fun. I get on the plane and Jason boarded first because he had a higher upgraded pass than me. So hey, I get on the plane and my hair is all up in a ponytail. I have no makeup on. And it's like recording me as I'm walking. I'm like, really, Jason? You couldn't give me a little warning? My hair looks like this. He was like, oh, it's all in the shot. Don't worry about it. You look great. And everybody on the plane's looking at me like, who is that girl? Why is he recording her?
She must be famous. Wait until she takes her hair down.
I put on makeup and you'd be like, oh, wow, that's Tammy and the Sheet Squatchers.
Right. I don't know. I'm not recognizable as a she squatcher yet.
Unlike Tammy, who got recognized.
I did.
Right?
That was so weird. I was I went to this bar. I've been to the bar, several times. The locals there know who I am, but I don't like people to know who I am, my public figure, just because this is where I hang out. This is where I live. I don't want everybody, knowing about that stuff. So I hang out at this bar and I came in late after the bands had already played, which is where I usually show up because I usually don't care for the music. It's heavy metal. It's not my scene, but my friends are always there. So I like to go and hang out with my friends. But I walked in and I'm sitting there with my friends and we're shooting pool. And this guy comes over and he's like, he's talking a little bit. He's like, hey, can I buy you a drink? I'm like, sure. And he said something about, oh, can I get a drink for the Bigfooter? And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, I know who you are. I'm like, you do not know who I am. Who told you who I am? He's like, nobody told me who you are. You're Tammy from the She Squatchers. I've seen you. And I'm like, you've seen me where? He's like, I've seen your YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh my goodness, really? Yeah, you could buy me a drink. So that was like my first time of somebody knowing exactly who I was with nobody saying anything. And I was not wearing any She Squatcher clothing.
That's awesome. See, here's me. I always think if I don't wear She Squatchers clothing, I'm just incognito.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
that's
Right?
me too. Unless I have something, She Squatchers.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, I walked into a Bigfoot conference that I was just attending wearing just like a dress, like a normal work clothes for me. And then the people were like, "Hi, Jen." And I was like, "How do you know who I am?"
Jen used to always make us wear all of our garb everywhere we went. If you don't wear it,
Everywhere.
nobody's going to know who we are.
Yes.
Oh, they do. But
They know who we are.
they do know. But Jenna and I got recognized on an airplane in Minneapolis. We got on the plane. We were going to Washington State. And so there was 3 seats and Jenna was in the middle and there was a guy at the window and I was at the aisle. And so we sit down and she starts talking to the guy and he's like, "What are you going to Washington for?" And she's like, "Oh, we're going to a Bigfoot conference." And the guy sitting in front of me turned around when he heard her say that and he looked at us and he went, "Oh, you're the She Squatchers. I know who you are." I was like, "What?"
And afterwards, Jen and I were so excited that we just got recognized. We were like, oh,
We're so famous. We're so famous.
oh my gosh. I'm not gonna
That's
say
so
it.
funny. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So yeah, back to our expedition. So we ran around Fargo. We put Jason in the wood chipper head
Yep.
first.
That was fun.
Yes,
That was a great picture.
it was. Tammy was like holding
I
him
held him
in
into
the wood chipper.
Yes.
He almost did fall, didn't he? Tim?
And for all the people out there who have never seen the movie called Fargo, there's a big scene in the movie where the lady puts the man in the wood chipper to dispose of the body. And so at a Fargo visitor center, we have a wood chipper, the wood chipper. And so everyone has to go visit the wood chipper when they come to visit. So of course we had to take Jason there to put him in it, right?
And that's where the bull/buffalo was. So
I'm pretty sure it was a male buffalo and they might be called bulls. I'm not sure. Google might.
if I am right on the air, I'm gonna be so excited.
Anybody in the chat room know if male bison are called bulls or not? Please let us know.
I'll look right
Please,
Jen.
for my
now. What is a
sake.
male buffalo called?
Oh,
Bulls! You're right! Jenna, you're right!
write it down.
Say
Jenna
it
was
again,
right.
Say it again. You're on mute again.
Yes, you're on mute. Okay. So then we head to the first reservation and that it was already getting late at night. So we just slept that night and got ready for the next day. We got up early and we headed out and we went to Randy's place up by Black Duck. And he has a huge property and I know we've talked about it. We've had Randy on the show before. And that's where Jenna and I had our daytime sighting. We each saw our own Bigfoot, 2 different Bigfoots we saw. I saw the really tall brownish red one. And Jenna saw it wasn't short by any means, but it was shorter than the one that
No.
I saw. And hers
It was darker.
Mm-hmm. And so we saw that during the day in the open, not like kind of in the tree. It was out in the open. And it's on this electrical power line corridor. And so when we get there with Tammy and I start walking down the power line corridor and I'm getting my phone out and I'm getting it ready to record if anything should happen. And I'm looking at it and I'm getting it going. And Tammy's like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "Did I see what?" What did you see, Tammy?
I saw the great big reddish one that was like 13 feet tall. That's not even the only one I saw. I saw another one the next day too. I saw one that was probably about 7 feet tall, and he was dark brown anyway, dark brown black, and walking down the trail too. That one I saw. It wasn't way off in the distance, and is that a Bigfoot? No, it was broad daylight, and we were on the path. And one of our friends that had a tent out there, and the air mattress had a hole in it. So Todd went up to go get some duct tape to fix the hole, and we're standing there waiting. And I just thought it was Todd coming back. You could hear them walking down, and I was like, oh, somebody's coming. And I look over and I see, why my mind did not register, hey, that black thing is not a person. But I see somebody walking. I'm like, oh, here comes somebody. And they never came out. They went behind the tent, and then they never came out the other side of the tent. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I grab my phone and I go running over there, and there's nobody there. And I'm like, that was Bigfoot. It walked right there. I saw it with my own eyes. I wasn't even trying to hide. And we, of course, were not quiet. So they knew that we were standing right there. So that was amazing. I love when that happens.
That is cool. And also out there, when all of us were out there, and it was daytime, and I was standing by the tent, and Michael Quast was there, and I just I don't know, it was like a weird feeling, felt like look that way, and I looked through the trees towards where the river is, but you can't see the river from there, but I looked through the trees, and just then I saw something large and dark, but not long enough to say, oh, that was whatever it was, but it was
Right.
It was large and dark.
Something.
And as soon as I saw it, it jumped down, and the tops of the trees started whipping back and forth like this. Well, Michael saw the trees whipping back and forth, but he didn't see what caused that movement like I did. He just saw the after effect of the whipping of the tops of those trees. It was really. Did anybody else see the whipping of the trees?
I heard it. I didn't see it, but I heard it.
Yeah. So then a bunch of people walked back there to see if they could see anything back there. I had shorts on, so I didn't dare walk back there didn't want to get the poison ivy, but I was like, keep going. And I was like, I'll tell you when I get there. Trying to recreate the situation. So yeah, we had some really cool experiences, but that night, or whatever night it was that I carried my bag of equipment out there. It was only one time that I carried it out to the tent, because we put our tent really far from the main property where the camper was, and it rained a lot. So sometimes we stayed in the camper because our tents got wet. But so I'd carried my bag out there, and when we were walking, it was us 3 girls and Jason. And I was in the back, and I heard something walking behind me, and I'd stop and it would take one more step. And I'm like, then I'd start walking again. And then I heard something also walking beside me. I'd stop, and then I heard it would take one more step. I'm like, you guys, there's something behind and beside me. There's 2 things back here. So Jason turned on his night vision camera, and he just started filming backwards towards us walking. And he did catch eye shine.
He did.
He did catch the eye shine of whatever was stalking us. And that's like hunting behavior. They say that's hunting behavior.
Oh yeah, they'll go right beside you, or usually right beside you, or right behind you. Yeah, and behind you to kind of guide you to where they want you to go, and they wait for an opportunity, and then they get you.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have hurt us though.
I didn't think so either, but still, it was freaky. It was freaky. And when I went back there, because I've been back there a few times since then, and when I was back there the last time, I did a solo night hike in the dark.
We're already out of time.
I know we're already out of time.
Gosh.
So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time, and we're back now.
Good
night, everyone.
Good night.
Oh, I gotta turn it off. Where is it?